Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. It's the first step to understanding the truths about women no one else will tell you. Now, I want you to imagine something for a moment. You're talking to a woman you care about, maybe someone you've been chasing for weeks, months, or even years. You feel this mix of desire, anticipation, and fear. You want to tell her what you want, honestly, openly. But deep down, you're terrified that if you ask, you'll push her away. That fear is louder than your confidence, and it's controlling you more than you realize. Here's the truth. Most men completely misunderstand how women respond to requests. They think they need to be subtle, to play it cool, to hide their desires behind humor or casualness. The reality is the opposite. Women are wired to respect clarity, confidence, and emotional intelligence, but there's a subtle, almost invisible line you must walk. Too much push, and she recoils. Too much hesitation, and you appear weak, unworthy, or invisible. The first mistake men make is asking from a place of neediness. You need to understand that neediness is like a magnet for avoidance. When a woman senses desperation or anxiety about her response, her brain interprets it as a threat to her autonomy. This triggers instinctual withdrawal. So the first principle is ask from abundance, not scarcity. When you ask for what you want, your energy must signal that your life is complete, regardless of her answer. That's magnetic. That's powerful. Next, consider your tone and timing. Most men focus only on words. They don't understand that energy carries meaning far beyond language. The same sentence can feel attractive or controlling, depending on how it's delivered. Calm, measured, emotionally grounded communication creates safety and intrigue. She doesn't feel pressured, yet she senses that you're not afraid to express your desires. Finally, visualize this. Imagine speaking your truth with complete presence, without urgency, without trying to manipulate her feelings. You're clear, confident, and centered. You are asking, not demanding. And here's the secret. Women sense this. They may not say it aloud, but internally this is magnetic. You're no longer just a man hoping for approval. You're a man standing in his own emotional power. Now let's get into the part most men completely miss, the psychology of asking without pushing her away. Women are not illogical. They are wired to protect themselves emotionally. Every request you make is filtered through her subconscious questions. Does this feel safe? Does this feel respectful? Does this feel attractive? If any of these answers are no, you will trigger resistance before she even hears the words. The first psychological truth is this: clarity without attachment is irresistible. Most men attach their self-worth to her response. If she says no, I'm less of a man, I've failed, I'm rejected. This is emotional suicide. Women can feel this energy instantly. It's repelling. The subtle shift is asking from a place of clarity. You know what you want, you communicate it, but your emotional state doesn't depend on her answer. You are grounded, you are composed. This alone transforms how your words land. Second, you must frame your requests in a way that aligns with her autonomy. Women are instinctively drawn to men who respect their independence. When you ask in a way that honors her freedom, you remove internal conflict. Instead of feeling cornered, she experiences curiosity and engagement. Phrases like, "I'd love to experience this with you, but only if it feels good for you too," create space while still expressing desire. You are not begging, you are inviting. Third, timing and context are everything. Even the most confident, non-attached request can backfire if delivered at a high-stress moment, in a rushed environment, or when she feels emotionally taxed. A man who understands timing knows that patience amplifies desire. He waits for emotional windows where connection is strongest, and he speaks from presence, not urgency. Fourth, the emotional contrast principle. Women are wired to notice men who can shift emotional states confidently. You can ask directly while maintaining lightness, playfulness, and confidence. This creates tension, excitement, and intrigue. You are showing her that you are serious about your desires, but not desperate. You are a man with standards, a man who values himself, and women respond to that instinctively. Finally, remember this: subtle signals matter more than words. Eye contact, tone, posture, and calm breathing, all these convey emotional stability. The most powerful requests are those that feel inevitable, natural, and safe. She doesn't feel pushed, she feels drawn. And this is the line every man struggles to find, but once you do, it's magnetic. Now let's dissect what most men get completely wrong, the way they actually speak when they ask for something. Words alone are weak if your energy doesn't match them. You could say the perfect sentence, but if your body language, tone, and emotional state scream anxiety or neediness, it will repel her instantly. The women you want, those who are emotionally intelligent and attuned, sense everything. The first truth is, less is more. Over-explaining, justifying, or pleading signals scarcity. Scarcity screams, I need you, validate me, please don't leave. Instead, you speak in concise, direct statements. For example, instead of saying, I really want to see you tonight if that's okay, and I understand if you're busy, you say, I want to see you tonight, let me know if that works. Same request, but framed as a choice, not a negotiation. You are confident, calm, and decisive. Next, the power of tone and rhythm. Women are biologically wired to pick up subtle emotional cues in voice. Speak slowly, evenly, and with a grounded energy. Avoid the high-pitched pleading tone or rapid-fire explanations that signal panic. Every pause, every breath, every modulation in your voice communicates your internal state more than the words themselves. When you sound secure and present, your request is compelling instead of threatening. Then, we move to body language alignment. Your posture, facial expressions, and gestures must match the clarity in your words. Shoulders relaxed, chest open, direct but soft eye contact, calm hand movements. These are the non-verbal signals that reinforce emotional security. A woman doesn't just hear your request, she feels it. And when she feels confidence, curiosity replaces resistance. Another overlooked factor is anticipating her internal dialogue without overthinking. Women instinctively analyze if fulfilling your request aligns with her autonomy and emotional safety. By subtly acknowledging her choice without attaching your worth, you create a paradoxical attraction. You are expressing desire while allowing freedom. For example, I'd love to have you here tonight, but only if it feels good for you. You are never forcing, only inviting, and that's irresistible. Finally, emotional congruence is everything. You cannot say one thing and feel another. Inner clarity is magnetic. If you are internally calm, grounded, and confident, every word, every glance, every subtle movement reinforces that energy. The magic happens not because you have the right words, it happens because your entire presence embodies confidence, safety, and attraction. When you master this alignment of words, tone, and body, you are no longer just asking. You are magnetically inviting, and women respond on a deeper, emotional level that few men even understand exists. Here's the part most men never understand. Asking successfully isn't just about words. It's about triggering the right emotional response in her subconscious. Women respond to men who create emotional resonance, who make them feel safe yet alive, desired yet free. If you miss this, no amount of charm or logic will make her say yes. First, you must understand the power of emotional framing. Every request you make carries an emotional context. Are you framing it with tension, excitement, and confidence, or desperation, anxiety, and fear? Women are wired to pick up on emotional signals first, words second. When you ask from a place of grounded certainty, you are framing your request as an opportunity, not a demand. It's irresistible because it feels like a natural extension of your presence, not a challenge to her autonomy. Second, contrast triggers desire. Women are drawn to men who can hold emotional contrast. You can be playful, teasing, relaxed, then shift to a direct, confident request. This creates a subtle tension that feels electric. The moment you ask for what you want, she's subconsciously comparing the emotional states. She feels excitement, curiosity, and the subtle thrill of aligning with someone strong and centered. You are no longer just another man asking. You are a force she wants to experience. Third, the art of pacing. Timing your requests with emotional awareness is critical. Too fast and you trigger resistance. Too hesitant and you lose authority. Watch her energy. Notice when she's engaged, present, and responsive. Then make your move. This is not manipulation, it's emotional intelligence. You are speaking in harmony with her natural rhythms, creating alignment rather than friction. Fourth, Acknowledge and respect her autonomy without over-explaining. This is subtle but profound. Phrases like, "I'd love to experience this with you, only if it feels right for you," signal that you are self-assured yet considerate. You are inviting, not coercing. Her brain interprets this as safe, attractive, and confident. Finally, emotional resonance must precede requests. Women respond to men whose inner state is magnetic. Before you ask, ensure you are grounded, composed, and confident. Even a subtle hint of insecurity or neediness will override every carefully chosen word. Your presence, the way you carry yourself, the calm assurance in your voice will determine her response long before she consciously hears your words. When mastered, these triggers make your requests feel inevitable. She doesn't feel pushed, she feels drawn. And this is the line most men never even realize exists. But once you step across it, everything changes. Now, we get to the part most men completely miss, the invisible shortcuts that make women voluntarily align with your desires. This isn't about manipulation, it's about leveraging how human psychology naturally works. Once you understand these, asking becomes effortless, almost magnetic. The first shortcut is persuasion. Before you even speak, you set the stage emotionally. Your energy, your presence, even small micro-expressions influence how she interprets your words. A calm, grounded demeanor primes her brain to perceive your request as safe, desirable, and attractive. This is why confident men often get yeses before they even ask. They've already created the emotional context where compliance feels natural. Second, the reciprocity trigger. Humans are wired to respond when someone demonstrates value or attunement first. Before making a request, subtly invest in her emotional experience. Make her feel understood, appreciated, or amused. Then your request doesn't feel like pressure. It feels like a continuation of a positive emotional flow. She doesn't even notice she's leaning toward you. She just feels aligned. Third, the consistency principle. People desire to act in ways that are consistent with their past behavior. If you've been consistent, confident, and emotionally engaging throughout your interactions, asking for something becomes an extension of a pattern she's already subconsciously invested in. This is why small, deliberate steps in emotional connection pay off. She's more likely to say yes because it feels natural to her identity in that moment. Fourth, emotional contrast paired with curiosity. When you blend lightness, teasing, and unpredictability with a clear, grounded request, you create subtle tension. Her brain experiences a combination of safety and excitement. Curiosity is piqued, attraction spikes, and compliance feels like a reward, not a concession. The secret is balancing these emotional poles without overtly signaling urgency or need. Finally, safety plus challenge. Women respond to men who create both emotional safety and a subtle challenge simultaneously. Your request should communicate, "I know what I want, I value myself, and I'm asking with respect for your freedom." This combination flips a switch in the subconscious. She doesn't feel coerced. She feels drawn to meet your standard, to align with your energy. Master these shortcuts, and asking becomes effortless. You don't push, you don't plead, you don't negotiate your worth. Instead, you create the invisible, magnetic conditions that make her want to say yes and feel good about it. This is the kind of mastery most men will never even see, let alone practice. Now let's put it all together. The blueprint that transforms asking from a risk into a magnetic, almost inevitable outcome. This is the level few men ever reach, because it requires mastering not just words, but presence, timing, and emotional intelligence. Step 1. Ground yourself in abundance. Your value is not tied to her response. Before you speak, check in with yourself. Are you calm, centered, and confident? Are you asking because it excites you, not because you need approval? This internal state alone changes everything. When your energy communicates security, she senses it instantly, and fear of rejection disappears from the equation. Step 2. Frame with clarity and respect. Your request must be simple, direct, and considerate. Avoid over-explaining or apologizing for your desires. A statement like, "I'd love to spend time with you tonight," delivered with calm certainty, says everything without pressure. She feels invited, not trapped. Your clarity signals strength, which women instinctively find attractive. Step 3. Align words with nonverbal signals. Eye contact, posture, breathing, and tone must reinforce your intent. Relaxed shoulders, steady voice, and gentle but confident eye contact signal emotional security. Your words are validated by your presence. Any mismatch, pleading words with tense body language, instantly triggers resistance. Step 4. Use emotional contrast and pacing. Blend lightness, curiosity, and playful teasing with grounded seriousness. Time your request when engagement and emotional resonance are highest. This creates subtle tension and excitement, making compliance feel like a choice she wants to make, not an obligation she must endure. Step 5. Acknowledge her autonomy subtly. Never force or corner. Phrases like, "only if it feels right for you," signal respect while maintaining your power. This removes internal conflict for her. She feels free, yet drawn. Freedom plus attraction equals magnetic compliance. Step 6. Reinforce emotional resonance. Throughout the interaction, maintain alignment between your internal state and external expression. Confidence, calmness, and presence are contagious. She mirrors them unconsciously. Your request is no longer a question. It's a natural, desirable outcome of the emotional energy you've created. When you integrate these steps, asking becomes effortless. You no longer push, plead, or negotiate. You create conditions where she wants to align with you, where your desires feel natural, safe, and exciting. This is mastery. This is power. And it's the kind of magnetic confidence that transforms not just dating interactions, but every relationship you choose to invest in.